Yeah, you. You and your clean clothes look like you're fresh off the shuttle. Let me guess. Mining corporations gave you a presentation about the fortunes to be made from the iridium veins all over Zapacna, and then they let you buy a ticket here for a low, low price. Am I right? Oh, how'd I know that? Well, it's the story of me and most of the other people on this dirtball. Let me tell you the next part. Out of sheer curiosity, you're going to check the price for a flight off the planet. And you'll realize that without the company's subsidy, getting out costs 30 times as much as getting in. I know. People like to say Zip's half sand, half rock, and all disappointments. Everyone's hoping to get out of here. Most people go about it by taking the fields for years, prospecting for iridium. I'll tell you what. You buy me a drink and I'll tell you my path out.
Hello, what can I get for you?
Just give me something... something fortified.
Oh, alright. One old zip coming up.
Thanks, Sam.
Jim! Hey! Hey! How have you been?
Cheyenne? I haven't seen you since that scrape outside the Breakers bar.
Too long, Jim. Too damn long.
So what the hell have you been up to?
I'm just trying my luck in the fields. Found enough ore to live on, but I'm still looking for my load. You?
Oh, you know me. I never had the temperament to pore over those rocks all day. I've been doing odd jobs here and there.
Odd jobs that require that 8-shot revolver of yours?
You know me too well, Cheyenne.
You always were the wild one. All the times you tried to hop those gliders and dragged us along.
Hey, you and Charlie always came along in your own accord.
Yeah, to stop you from getting yourself killed. Hey, I actually ran into Charlie the other day.
No way. What's that scrawny little guy been up to?
Well, about, half a cycle ago, Charlie strikes pay dirt. Hey, could you turn that up?
Sure.
Recall of its Model 34B repulsors due to design flaws. It came to light recently that overlapping resonant frequencies gradually caused repetitive wear damage to the mounting struts. Though this only occurred when
Naturally.
paired together with the male
That's what's
chassis
strapped beneath my Sprinter.
motors.
Well, the universe works in strange ways. Besides, Cheyenne, at least you know to check those mountings down.
Yeah, I suppose.
Besides, at least we're not riding around on wheeled sprinters like those nuts back down on Earth.
I suppose it must be nice having those flat roads.
So anyways, what were you saying?
Oh, yeah. So Charlie finds himself a vein. Negotiate a deal with the ZMC. Nice fight advance included. Now I would have used that to patch up my Sprinter. Maybe even upgrade to one of those new models that just got shipped in. But what do you suppose Charlie does?
Oh, don't tell me. I was always reading those terrible sci-fi novels. He bought a laser pistol.
He bought a laser pistol. Or the best one on the market and got it shipped all the way from Earth. I saw him walking around with it clipped to his belt all proud like a regular Buck Rogers. Now, a week or so after it arrives, Charlie's leaving town when he sees some drunk prospector harassing some bar lady after a shift. Charlie fancies himself the dashing hero and tells him to leave her be. The drunk turns and asks what he's doing about it, and then Charlie says some one-liner I can't remember and draws his gun. See, so he's got this drunk dead in his fancy laser gun sight. Pulls the trigger. His gun crackles and just explodes.
What?
Yeah, well, they were designed for Earth conditions. Evidently a week of storms had wedged so much sand into that overloaded.
Oh, hell, I can just imagine the look on Charlie's face. Well, I'll take my revolver over a laser pistol any day of the week.
Damn straight. I'm telling you, there's no way you could have hopped a glider while it was launching. If I hadn't stopped you, the launch magnets would have at best totaled your Sprinter.
You say that, but I still think my old Sprinter had enough aluminum in it to pull it off. Alright, it's been great, but I actually have a job lined up for the morning, so I should probably stumble on back to my room.
Well, I hope the job's not so important you wouldn't be able to leave town in a hurry.
Oh? What do you mean?
Well, I may have come into possession of some information about that missing shuttle everybody's been talking about.
The truth and salvation!
Shh!
What could you possibly know about that?
Well, last cycle I was way out west on the Permenian Ridge, turning over some rocks, searching for that load. When what do I see screaming out of the sky but a cargo shuttle? 2 engines on fire. It came right over me. Else I had missed it with that huge dust storm raging.
Interesting. But why are you telling me? I know we go way back, but there's gotta be a fortune's worth of supplies in that shuttle. Why let me in on it?
Well, there's a bit of a catch.
Let me guess. It's a cut-based catch.
Well, now that you mention it, actually I guess it's 2 catches. I'm not greedy. I figure a 10% cut of whatever you manage to pull out of there would be more than fair.
That seems just a tad too reasonable. So what's the second catch?
It went down within about 8 clicks of the coordinates 23.554 and 46.520.
46 point... Wait, isn't that... Right in the middle of the Junlin Wastes. Well, that would certainly explain why nobody's found it.
None of those city gliders ever go over it, and nobody ever goes through it when they could just go through the Fulza Gap. Just think about it. An entire off-world shuttle, packed to the brim with luxuries and supplies. Hell, there's probably 20 sprinters in the main bay alone.
That may be. But I'd have to spend days searching through the heat, the animals, and everything else in that godforsaken waste and then work my way out again.
Well, there's a reason why my cut's so low.
Well, I suppose it can't be any more dangerous than hopping those gliders while they're launched. You got yourself a deal.
I'll drink to that.
So in case I need to get a hold of you, you still using the same frequency?
Sadly, I had to retire the old 59 when I upgraded radios. I'm on the new channels.
Me and my big mouth, right? I didn't know it till later, but it turned out someone had been listening in.
I've got to admit, it takes some serious guts stealing from us. Everyone gets a share of the take. But that just wasn't enough for you. Hey, Ethan. How does it feel to watch karma catching up to you?
Frank, I didn't do it, Frank. I keep telling you, I don't know where those bars went.
Yeah, we've heard it all before. But here's what you need to think about. That glider, it's set to take off any minute. When it comes down the launch rails, it won't exactly hit you. The magnetic field between the rails and its repulsors will just propel every piece of the metal you're wearing straight through you. So I'm going to ask you again. Where did you hide those bars?
I didn't. I hid them under the spire we stayed at a few nights ago.
Thank you. Thank you for your honesty.
Well, I have to admit, Frank, you always get the job done.
Well, it's either that or starve. Shame about Ethan, though. He had some promise.
Well, until he started stealing from
Frank! I found it.
Found what?
The Truth and Salvation. I was at the Breakers Bar when the 2 guys at... Ooh. So you got him to talk?
Yep. He hid the bars under that spire a few days ago. So you were saying something?
Yeah. Anyway, there are 2 guys at a table behind me talking about the Truth and Salvation. From the sound of it, one of them saw where it went down. I couldn't hear the coordinates, but I did hear them mention that it went down in the Junlan Waste.
I guess that's why we never managed to find it. With all those crags and canyons, we could search for a month without scratching the surface of that godforsaken place. Where's this guy now?
Well, that's the problem. I followed them out, but they both took off on their sprinters in different directions before I could pin them down. I'm pretty sure the one going after the shuttle was heading to Anchorhead, though.
Alright, here's what we're gonna do. You, Eli, and Lee,
Yeah?
you guys are gonna take your spinners after the guy going to Anchorhead. With those engines re-ripped off, you guys should easily catch up to him before he hits town. Do what you guys do best. And once you get the reconciliation coordinates out of him, well, I would say make it look like an accident. But frankly, nobody's gonna care either way. The rest of us will get the supplies we'll need for the waste, and then catch up to you in a few hours.
Hey, Cheyenne. Cheyenne, can you hear me? Yeah, must not be listening. What the hell you idiots think you're doing? Stopping in front of me like that, you could have caused an accident. Hell.
That's right, fella. Just keep your hands on your sprinter where we can see them. There's 3 of us, so don't do anything stupid, and you're right out of this in one piece.
Let me save you some time. My survival gear is in the right-hand saddlebags, and the iridium I've scrounged is strapped to the undercarriage between the 2 repulsors.
Yeah, that's not what we're after. We know that you've gotten some information on the Salvation's whereabouts. We're hoping that you'd be kind enough to share.
I don't have any idea.
We know your friend told you about the crash site. Now where in the waste did it crash?
Now, one of the first things everybody finds out is hours out from a town there's no lawman to watch your back. Fortunately, this wasn't the first time that I've found myself in a scrape like this. Well, if you know about that, then you must know about...
That's your 6th, you're out!
Right count?
My leg.
Wrong gun.
What?
I wouldn't try for your gun if I were you.
You just killed them!
Like you were just gonna let me go after I told you the coordinates.
Wait a minute, I just...
So, here's the deal. I don't really like killing people I don't have to, so I'm gonna give you a little break. That shot you took in the leg doesn't look too bad. Now, it looks like you guys have... no working sprinters left. So, your options are either to try and fix up one of your sprinters, or try to thumb a ride from somebody passing by. Fortunately for you, this route's fairly well traveled, so somebody will probably stumble across you in a few days. I gotta be heading north through Sad Hill, so I'll leave this choice up to you.
Alright, I'm gonna try and raise those guys on the radio.
Hey! Hey, Frank!
Was that?
What the hell happened? Are they dead?
No! They're just taking a snooze in the dirt. That guy we stopped, turns out he knows his way around a gun. We had him covered, but he blinded us with some kind of flare. He dropped Eli and Lee, but I managed to take cover behind my sprinter. I got hit and I dropped my gun. Ugh. He left me behind, but he let it slip he was going through Sad Hill. I think he thought we were the only ones after it.
Damn it! Do you think you'll be alright to go after him?
Yeah. I managed to patch up my leg while I was waiting. I'll be okay.
A few years back, I actually passed through Sad Hill. It's a stop on a minor route through the Permian Ridge, but it's mostly just a base for prospectors. If the guy we're after thinks nobody else is behind him, he'll probably stop at the general store there to pick up supplies.
Howdy. Oh, wow, a stranger. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Just got done with a long trip.
Well, it would certainly have to be to get all the way out here. Where did you come in from?
I was in Batterville for a job, but something else came up and I had to head up here.
Really? I can't imagine what business you'd have up here that would take you away from a real city like that. Anyways, what can I help you with?
Let me see. I need a few extra saddlebags, an adjustable multi-tool, folding solar panel with a universal adapter, a couple of emergency fuel cells, and some general provisions.
Alright, well, I guess I can start at the top. Saddlebags are in the shelf over there, the multi-tools are right next to them, all the electronic stuff is on those shelves over there, and the provisions are in the back.
Jim,
Jim, what brings you to these parts? Normally I just see the same prospectors over and over again.
someone put me under contract to investigate something in the area.
I haven't heard that one before. Are you going to be staying in town or heading out on the Permian Trail?
Neither. I'm actually heading into the wastes.
That's interesting. You know, every so often one of the locals will go in there searching for iridium veins, but they always come out after a few days, usually swearing never to go in again.
Yeah, I've heard all the horror stories. So, seems like you're pretty isolated out here. You ever have any problems with that? People coming through here thinking a one-girl shop would be easy pickings?
Well, a few years back when we were just setting this place up, every so often we had somebody come in try to score some easy bucks, but they never took too much, and I just figured it was a cost of doing business. Then one got a bit too excited and left me with an empty cash box and a souvenir bullet in the gut.
Ouch. Sorry to bring up bad memories.
No, it's fine. Besides, I never get to tell this story. Well, after a few weeks of recovery, I decided to be a little more proactive. Since then, well, it's been months since someone ran in brandishing a gun and yelling.
Nobody move! Open up the register!
You just had to say it.
When I get to the counter, get flat to the ground.
What?
Hey, shut up and open the register!
What the hell did you do to him?
There's a bunch of hidden shotguns that fire at chest level from a pedal back here. Like I said, I got more proactive. Hey y'all, sorry that it's so dark in here. We had a little problem with the lights.
That's no problem.
Sorry, but do I know you guys?
Nah, we're just passing through.
Wow, getting a lot of strangers in the shop today. So what can I get for you?
Just some general supplies, food, water, and some sat phones. You guys know what we need. So, other strangers showed up today?
Yeah, some guy came here all the way from Batterville on business. Can you believe it? Nothing out here but the wastes.
Really? What was he up to?
Nah, I don't really remember. I kind of got distracted. Anything in particular you need help with?
No, we can find what we're after.
Must be nice to be able to delegate. I don't think I've been able to take a day off from the shop in, gosh, years.
I know the feeling. So this guy, where'd he head off to?
Sorry, but on principle, I generally don't share where customers are heading. The prospectors around here tend to get paranoid about people trying to jump their claims.
Well, I didn't want to do this, but where was he off to?
Hey, if you guys want money, the register's over there.
I'd prefer to talk over here. Now I'll ask again. Where was he going?
He didn't say exactly where he was heading, but he left town going almost straight north.
Thank you, ma'am. You've been very helpful. Did you guys get everything?
Yep, 6 EFCs, all the water she had, and 4 sat phones for us.
All right. If he went straight north, he's probably searching this area here. He has a better idea where the wreck is, but there are 4 of us, and if we split up, We stand a good chance of finding it before he does.
If you imagine the shattered remains of a mountain range dropped from 1,000 feet high, you'd have some idea what the wastes are like. You toss in hot, stagnant air and a wealth of critters that make their livelihood in the harshest environment known to man, and you can imagine what my mind was like after 3 weeks of searching. Damn Tragus. With the sun there, that has to be south. Probably. I'm gonna have to turn back soon. Come on, man, just a rock slide. You're getting jumpy. Hey, Cheyenne. Cheyenne!
Yeah. What you been up to?
Just cruising the wastes. Surviving borderline heat stroke. About what you'd expect after a few weeks out here.
There's a reason I passed the job to you. I can barely understand you, Jim.
Sorry, Cheyenne, I'm at the bottom of a canyon. Can't imagine how the signals are being bounced around.
I think the question has you gone to the vision.
What? Hello? Cheyenne, somebody else's transmission is crossing over.
Just don't die, otherwise I'm going.
That looks... Ha! That looks suspiciously like a fan blade from an off-world shuttle engine. Hey, Cheyenne, I think I found it.
No way. What does it look like?
Yeah, it must have come in right over the canyon wall and sheared off a wing, tumbled to a stop when it hit a butte. Wow. This thing looks like it's been here as long as you said. One of the wings is a dune the size of a glider piled on top of it.
Makes me think that I'm getting the raw deal out of it.
Maybe, but that's your own damn fault.
True, but I know.
What? What the hell? Come on, Jim, get a hold of the situation. Looks like it's just 3 guys on the right. Ah, my 4th guy on the left. Oh, my shoulder. They just burned a hole straight through the wing.
You can sit behind that all day. I'll burn you right out.
Never heard of one of those laser pistols melting metal. Must have modified it somehow.
You think you can just leave me for dead?
Oh, God. You weren't alone. Come on, think. You need some way to equalize things.
Box them in.
Something like dune being held up by a short-off wing. Just need to hit the fuel cells. One day your ego's gonna be the death of you, Jimmy. Telling that guy where you're going? Of course he...
You can kill my men, and you can drop a mountain on my head, but you can't kill me!
Well, shoot. Good thing Charlie didn't have the time to modify his. Might have taken a few months, but I finally made enough supply runs for a trip out. My shuttle leaves tomorrow, but I don't think I'll ever really get over my time as a packman. The funny thing is, after a dozen cargo runs, I barely scratched the surface of the Salvation stores. Plenty of things left over for somebody else. Well, I'll leave it to your business. Thanks for the drink.
In a silver shroud.